YouTubers, this is Sean with PanicD.com, Dark Shadow Ghost Tours, Our Haunted Travels. And I just realized something earlier today. I never made a video explaining to you actually what PanicD.com is. So in this video, I'm going to go over PanicD.com and how you can use it if you travel along our country and looking for different haunted locations, or even if you're a paranormal investigator and would like to send us some information that we can link to in our database. So PanicD.com started about around 2010. It is a website that is built on top of a database. So you'll hear us every once in a while talk about PanicD number. For example, the one I have on the screen right here, St. Peter's Church, is PanicD number 1875. Now what that number means is that is the record number for that location within the database. All of the places that we have in the database we call locations. These could be houses, historical places, museums, restaurants, whatever, but every one of these locations have paranormal claims. So when we add a location to the database, it is assigned a database number, and that's what this PanicD number is right here. Now you're able to bring up these locations in several different ways, and I'm going to show you that right now. But one thing, when you first go to our website, a random location will show up. We also put out random locations on our Facebook and our Twitter. I think we put out like 3 a day, but they're random locations picked out of the database that we send out. Or you can also click this random button here up at the top, and it'll just randomly find a location and show you the PanicD number associated with it. And you can click this find out more here to find out more information about the location. Now another way you could bring up information is you hit this search and browse button, and you could search by the location title, or you can use these buttons here, like this one right here is the most recently added locations in the database, not in chronological order in the way we visit them or research them. That just means that those locations have been finished off and made active. So these are the last 10 locations that have been made active. You can also browse by the top 10 ranked locations. There is a logarithm built into the database based on how many history records, paranormal claims, how many times the records have been searched and brought up, and it gives a rank number. So you can see this one right here, our top ranked location is Hillview Manor with 19,437. That ranking number is actually a program that takes this information and calculates that rank. Now another way that you can bring them up too is you can actually browse by map. This map here will show pins for the different locations, and actually if you click on it, it'll show a little picture of the location with the PanicD number, and you actually click the view details to go to the detail page. But these pins actually mean something. If you look at this chart right up here, if it's red, that means in the database that location has evidence to support or debunk claims. If it's orange, that means the location has paranormal claims. And if it's blue, that means we've only added it and then only have historical information. Now another way you could bring it up is you go back to the search and you can browse by state. We had a project that we worked on a few years back where we said we wanted at least one location from every state. So we went through and we added them. That's why some states only have one location. Of course, we all know that there's more locations in each state. However, this is just like a hobby project we've been working on and really haven't had time to get all this information in here. But, for example, like Ohio has 83 locations. That's our home state. So these are a lot of places that we've either visited or researched in the state of Ohio, around our local area. In fact, if you go back to the map and we zoom in on the state of Ohio, you can see it gets pretty congested around our area right here when the pins come up. So we can actually zoom in And we're right around here, Youngstown, Ohio. You can see all these different locations. These are places that we've visited or researched in our area. Now, once you find a location and you bring it up, you bring up the detail page, like this is the one for the Stanley Hotel. Each location has a photograph of the location, the address, little description right here at the beginning. But it also lists the website to the location if they have one, the latitude and longitude coordinates for GPS. We also have statistics here, such as how many history records, how many stories, how many different paranormal claims, if there is evidence to support or debunk those claims, and how many additional resources. You can also see there's a smaller map that will show that location, and if there was others in the area, they would show up on this map as well. If we have visited the location, it'll have this black bar right here with the red text, and here's a link to the blog post from our visit to that location. Now this one also has a photo page, Pinterest board, and then a link to that blog post. But as you go through here, you can see here's the history records, some stories about the location that we found. We also always list links to the sources of where we got this information. And then the paranormal claims. And then any evidence. There's 4 different types of evidence. We have video evidence that's shown by the video camera. We have photographic evidence that has the camera icon. We also have audio evidence, like in this case, this is an EVP right here where you can actually just click that button and play that EVP. Then there's also journal evidence. We don't have any journal entries for this location, but there's a icon of a journal, which is like personal experiences and things like that. Then we also list any additional resources that we found on the internet about the location, and then we have a comment section. This allows people to leave us comments. Now, Panic D also has what we call a Parapedia. There is another website out there actually called Parapedia.com. So this is kind of like our paranormal encyclopedia. It's laid out somewhat like a dictionary where we have just all kinds of information that we find relating to the paranormal. We document it in here. Our photo pages are in this. Again, you have this random option where you can just randomly pull up an article and it shows you information, or you can go alphabetically pull things up, or you can also search for it. So this is like another database that's on panicd.com, which is an encyclopedia of paranormal information. And then we started forming collections. So when you have records that group together, for example, here's a section of all kinds of information related to hauntings around Christmas time. So we created, collections of different records. So you could browse them different ways. And this is kind of like our repository for most of our research that we've done. It will be linked in here if it's not part of a location. So that's panicd.com. All the information that you want to know about paranormal you can find on here. We also have a blog that's associated and a pretty extensive social network. And if you want to get a hold of us and would like to maybe contribute some information to the database, you click this contact section. You can get a hold of us in various different ways through our Facebook page or Twitter. You can also just leave a comment right here, and we monitor this pretty heavy. So we hope that you join in, spend some time on panicd.com, maybe contribute if you have some information. If you have any questions at all, you can also comment on this video. And until next time, happy hunting.